Hello everyone. So today I would like to stream about the Russian news. So you can ask me any questions about the Russian news. I will check at the same time um, what kind of news they are sharing now. I will show you. I will share the screen with you, and at the same time we will discuss everything here. Let me add here the chat. And let's check if it's working. It should be. Okay. And here we go. So let's first of all sign into chat. Okay. Sorry for one moment. Okay. It's done. Hello everyone. So let's start. There are many sources here to check about the Russian news, but I think the best one is Yandex. Yandex, it's a Russian Google. So if you didn't know about it, they have a website called Yandex. So this is the main Russian website. And through this website we can see all the news. I just write Russia and we see here what's the most discussed. So for example, this news, let me remove some tabs here. So it's kind of, they are kind of sharing that 200 fighters in Ukraine lost. Of course, they will talk mostly about the thing that are most likely more beneficial to them. And it would be hard to find maybe a news or something related to that Russian army are losing or something like that. Okay, I see so 2 people joining. Welcome guys. I will just not dig deep in each news, or just like read the titles and discuss them. It will be interesting. And if you have like any questions or anything to add, just to write it in the comments. Okay, this is another thing. I can translate it in English, so I have here English. So according to the data, radio inside, there were no company, no battalion. until armed forces nuclear abandoned the break. Ukrainian guns were destroyed during the attack. Okay. Result: armed Ukraine lost 200 people, etc. etc. It's interesting if to look, for example, it looks like Russian source. For example, how many Russians died? How many Russians lost? Сколько? Okay, сколько? How to say it? Потери России в Украине. Okay. So they say that from the 3rd March to March 2022, like they lost only 498 people, and only 1,500 are hit. So, and like if they, for example, if they had like the mobilization of 300,000 people before, and most like of them like didn't return, or they are lost or something like that, how it could be like only 500 dead, maybe, I don't know, thousands. And if for example only this amount, for example, lost, so why they need, like they already did a mobilization of 300,000, so why they need to do a mobilization of another like 500,000 or more? Anyway, that's strange. Okay, let's move to another news. Okay, of course, some news about Biden, like some secret documents of Biden. Ambassador of Ukraine Pristik of Kiev withdraw part of troops from the front of the Belarusian border. Yeah, so it's kind of the Ukrainian army are losing, something like that. Oh, Peskov. So this guy, if you knew about him, so when he talks, everything will happen the direct opposite. Last time when we had like the mobilization, the first one, so Peskov, he talked about that, and he said there will be no mobilization, and it happened. Like the same before the war itself, when it started, also Peskov said the same. So he said like that like no war will happen, nothing, they will not attack anything, and that happened again. And usually when Peskov says something about anything, so the opposite will happen. And Peskov, I think, already said that there will be no second mobilization. So you understand what will happen. Okay. What else? So they have like Kyiv experts. Interesting. Kyiv experts Soskin. So they have experts of each town. Something like that. Interesting. So defeat in Solidar will destroy the front and drive Zelensky to dead end. Yeah, of course. I expected the expert to say the same. Something like that. Again, another stem of COVID. Krakene. I don't know if it's the same. Also, like I have a lot to say about this topic. For example, like Russia supposed to be like fighting for their sovereignty. So they fight to have an independent country. So kind of against USA, against NATO, against everything. But in the end, when, for example, the pandemic started, they were doing all the things that WHO said. So WHO, this organization of World Health Organization. So they were doing everything they said, and they were telling the people that you have to do what WHO said. But in the end, when like the war started, so a lot of people, they thought that they will not like obey or listen to WHO, because it's supposed to be they are kind of independent. So if they are independent, so they will not listen to other organizations from Europe and from other countries. But in the end, they are kind of still listening to them. So if you wish to see here, okay, how you can fight for your independence and kind of don't listen to another country or another organization while you are listening. Let me check if they are talking about WHO or not, because I mean it's really strange. I mean, it's called ВОЗ in Russian, Всемирная организация здоровья or something like that. So the same now, they have like news about a new version of COVID. So, and it was like said, but by the WHO, not by the, how they call it, like the Ministry of Health, or the Russian Ministry of Health. So they could at least, like, I mean, come with their own rules, own own restrictions, like special restrictions, and not like do like the same like other doing. I mean, it's strange. And I usually like ask people, like I asked some people, so I told them if they kind of fight for their independence, etc. So why they still like belong to WHO, and why they still listen to WHO? And they didn't like find what to say. Oh my god! So they could at least, for example, also call COVID with another name, at least. But I mean, all this stuff that's happening with the sanctions, etc. When I see that it's going harder only to Russian citizens, people who has nothing to do with what the politicians are doing. So it sounds strange for me, because those politicians who are like doing everything aren't paying for their mistakes, or for their, I don't know, their sins, you can say. But simple regular citizens are paying for that, including those who left and who are against what others are doing. And that's a really strange thing, because the sanctions is supposed to be against those people who started everything, who are doing the bad things, but not against regular people who just want to live, to survive, to care about their family, about everything. It's kind of not fair. Yeah, everything is okay. So let me know if you hear me very well. Let me know if the picture is good, because I don't see any activity. Here I can see 3 watching. Okay. Let me check more news here. Like the same when I created a video about if the bank, like how I called that video, like I think I called it Soviet Union still exists or something like that. So the same when I created that video, I said like if they have like really like independent currency like ruble, etc. Why these currencies still, I mean, controlled by the central bank? So they have a central bank like this still operating in Russia, and the central bank is still controlling the currency, and it's supposed that the central bank have to tell to the Federal Reserve how much they print, how much they don't print. So it's kind of also strange that they still listen to the Federal Reserve. If they, I mean, they tell all people inside Russia, they tell them that we are kind of independent, fighting for our independence, while they are, I mean, still dependent on other organizations. And I mean, they find it maybe an excuse, maybe they started this war to be independent, but they are still they still have organizations that are not dependent. So if they want to really to be independent, they could just stop those organizations and they can just create their own things, maybe. Because even in Russia there is instead of WHO, for example, they have the Ministry of Health, instead of for example the central bank, that's not I don't know, controlled from the outside. So they can also make their own bank, their own central bank, for example, like the Sberbank or something like that. But it's something strange. In the end, only people are suffering from both sides, and those politicians are playing games. Anyway. Check more news. So there's Zen. Sometimes I watch Then it's social media where you can write articles, etc. And there are other places where we can find the news. Okay, again, I have many languages here. Okay, let's check, for example, RIA. Usually when you find news, you find it everywhere, in all the websites, the same news. So like 200 people, Ukrainians died, like okay, like the Ukrainian army like left Belarus. And the same. Let's check for interesting news. So there is someone who is like from the US. So Russia, they gave that guy to the American army. Again, COVID. Of course, like the army winning, the Russian army winning. Like as usual, like the United States is falling. Always like the people there, like in the news, etc. You hear that the dollar is going down, while I mean I still see it like the most used currency and one of the most like expensive currency. And if we check, for example, here, like let's check, for example, if it's going down, so why still like $1 still costs 67 rubles? I mean, there isn't a big difference. Like always it was like this. When in 2010 I was in when I just went to Russia, it was like it costed $1, like you can say 12 years ago, $1 costed 35. So let's check for 5 years here. We need to check like the maximum. They don't have like more. 5 years only. Anyway, it costed about like something like that, about 30, 36, $35. So in 2013, yes. So 2010 I went to Russia. Yeah, it was like this 2010. Here is it. So 31, 30. So it's kind of doubled. Like the during 12 years, and all these 12 years Putin was ruling. I mean the same party, because I mean they had Medvedev in some time, like for 4 years, but Medvedev kind of, he works for Putin, like the same guy, the same political party. And then after Medvedev here, also again Putin. So it went from 30 to 67, like more than half, more than 200%. I mean, lost, or how we can count it. Like I mean, like the ruble lost its value twice. It's crazy. I mean, in only 12 years. But the dollar kept being like that powerful as usual. So this party and what they are doing, they didn't make Russia economically more powerful. So they just made the ruble lose its value twice. It's crazy. Okay, this one is interesting because it's related to the mobilization. And usually when they say Kreml, they say Peskov, they say most of those political figures who decide things. So in Kreml, they kind of talked about the draft age. Again, Peskov, as you see, like when you see Kreml, you see Peskov. Peskov, it's a guy with the mustache. So you might to remember his name, his face. This is Peskov. So this guy. Sometimes I think that these politicians aren't even in Russia. Sometimes I think they are somewhere else and they are just acting, and they have like special buildings like that looks like Russian buildings, etc. It's crazy. I mean, because if they, I mean, were in Russia and look like at this one, this Peskov and this Peskov, this one, for me they look a bit different. Like the same about Putin also. There are like some resources where they show Putin in different faces. They have like it changed a lot, and it's something also crazy to talk about. So look at this Peskov and this Peskov. They look a bit different. I don't know if you see them different or not. Not a lot of people are watching, but I mean, they look different. Anyway, so if they were like really doing the best for Russia, so they will not push Russia to be closed with the borders, to a lot of sanctions, a lot of companies leaving. They will not do that if they cared really about Russia. But they are doing like the opposite. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see what this guy said about the raising the draft age. Like, I mean, they will take not if they took people from 18 to 50, so they will take people from 18 to 80. Something like that. Peskov called the issue the time raising draft age prerogative. I don't know what is it. Something important for Russia. The question of a time in raising the draft age in Russia is exclusively the prerogative. Prerogative. That means one of the most important, or what? Let's try Google Translate. Someone commented my video in Ukrainian today, and I learned how to say spasiba, and I mean the thanks in Ukraine. Spasibi, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Prerogativa. What is prerogative meaning? We are learning here. The right, privilege, individual or class. It's kind of it's a privilege to raise the age. I mean, to take older people to the war. President. The raising should be presented by Ministry of Defense, and in this case it is exclusively the it's the Ministry of Defense should decide, kind. Indeed, this idea was supported by the head of state. Of course, but the details, the design of this idea is still necessary and should be taken as primary source of information from the Ministry of Defense. So they are, they are talking about raising the age, so they will raise it to take more people. Interesting that like the older people are supporting that, and they are sending their kids, and they know that they will not send them because they are old. But when they will raise the age to the old people, for example, people who are like, I mean, in their 60s, in their 50s, and they tell all young people, you have to fight, and if they left like the country, you are traitors. And if you create content about anything related to this, they will write things like, I don't know, you are paid by 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 the state or something like that. And when they will raise the age, they will have to go. So then we will see how they will talk. We will see what they will tell. Crazy. Okay. Ariel at expanded meeting of the Russian Defense Ministry, the head of military department. Okay, this Shoigu said the certain department armed Russia. The draft age should be increased from 18 to 21 years. The age limit to 30. Okay. But it's impossible to trust them. They can, for example, they tell that they will raise the age, I mean, or reduce it to 30 or something like that, but they will take people from over 30 anyway. Dubai Defense Committee told RIA Novosti that the rule to increase the draft age to 21 would come into effect. Like they want to increase it from 18 to 28 to not take the 18s. Maybe to calm down the parents who lost their kids, or to tell those people, not people, I mean those guys, or those, yeah, people, guys. So to tell those guys who are in the service now, to tell them to calm down, kind of they are calming down, that they will not take them after 18, and in the end it's just a talk. And this is what they meant. But anyway, they are not trustful. Okay, Rostech. What is Rostech? It's something like related to the cosmos. Making people suffer and thinking about something done in the space. Like this, for usually these space companies, they take, I mean, billions of dollars or billions of a lot of money just to work on something that is in the space, while some people are suffering and they don't have maybe something to eat. And how they could care now about the space if they are like busy saving people, like they say. Usually they say that they are saving other Russians from Ukraine. Like those people, the Russian who live in Ukraine, they are kind of saving them. Like new antenna created by this Rostech etc. The same when I see like new movies created. I mean, instead of caring about like the most important things, so they care about movies and about something in the space they are doing. It's crazy. Interesting news. In the US, they kind of said for sure that Putin won NATO. Like he defeated NATO. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. United States announced the decisive victory of Putin over NATO. Republican Young announced a conflict victory of Russian front NATO over Ukraine. Okay, the Russian army is succeeding in special operation in Ukraine. How could that be? The Armenian Republican political candidate for the post of the government, Jeffrey Young. Really? This is how news should be checked. So who is Jeffrey Young? Let's check first of all, who is this? Psychologist. Okay. About Putin, maybe. Democrats siding with Putin over Ukraine war. Interesting when they say like Putin everywhere. I mean, those are like group of people, not I mean one person doing everything. Because in the news you may find like usually you find like that Putin did that, Putin did another thing, but in the end, I mean, it's impossible that if like let's talk about a company, like if you have a company or there's like a company with the president or with the director of the company, with the CEO, and they have like a lot of people, so the CEO can't sometimes like decide things without having like good managers, good I mean, I don't know, architects, good anyway, like it's related to the job, always people helping him. I mean, it's impossible that just that one person can do everything. It's a group of people who are doing like all these things, and Putin is just a representative. He's representing them. This is what I think. So this guy said Ukraine and NATO are still decisively losing, and Russia is still winning. This has been the case since the beginning. Until today, Russia can't lose in this conflict, and Ukraine NATO can't win. He wrote on Twitter. Okay, if they won, why they still didn't finish? Like when all of this started? Like this started in 24 February 2022. And we are almost a year, like 11 months already. Like almost 11 months passed. And depending on what they say in the news, like they say that Ukraine is very little, NATO can't win, like Russian army are very, very powerful. So depending on that, on what they say in the TV, in the news. So depending on that, they should win in 1 month. Because if Ukraine is like that little, NATO is that weak, so they should win in 1 month, like, or in 2-3 days. because they are like so powerful and so I don't know. News yeah, it's funny. So here, like, Ukraine starts building protection, how to go, build fortifications on the border with Belarus. Like they are like afraid. They are building borders, etc., etc. Defense settlement. So this. Okay, again, USA is bad. Like, let's see. Like, American rapper couldn't hold back her emotion when she saw food prices. American rapper Cardi B. So let's check. Like Cardi B. How to say in English? Okay, let's check. Okay, how to say wealth? Wealth. So wealth maybe. Wealth. So American rapper wealth. 40 million bucks. So a girl or a rapper who her wealth is 40 million bucks. So she couldn't hold her emotion when she saw the prices. Like someone who has like 40 million bucks and even more and earning every day like I don't know how much, and having like music labels, I don't know, YouTube, and having a lot of money. So this rapper will go to the store and care about the prices. These rappers, I think they never seen the prices in their lives. I mean, they just go to, they just to send their workers there to buy them something, or they just order, or just they don't even order by themselves. They have people who order for them and who feed them and who make them sleep and making them eat, maybe everything. I mean, I don't think that they will check the prices of the food. And let's check, by the way, prices. Food prices in US. I mean, this is how, do your own research. I mean, cost of living. Turkey, why Turkey? Yeah, I am in Turkey, but we need to choose, select city, New York, for example. New York, W. New York, United States. This website is good. I always use it to buy something, or to check the prices in other countries too, because we already have had an experience of moving between the countries, and I will always check this price, and it's like this Numbeo, and I always find it truthful, like the same price. Okay, 1 milk of liter of milk sorry. Is there a comparison here to compare between two countries? There isn't. 1 liter of milk, it's $0.32. So this is the price of the milk. So here, let's check here as well. Moscow. So Moscow. Okay. Where is the milk here? Okay, 1 liter of milk is 88 ruble. Let's check. Okay. Dollar or ruble to dollar. Ruble to dollar to USD. And here we go. 88. So 1 liter of milk in Russia is $1.30. Okay, and 1 liter of milk in the USA, in New York, 30 cents. Fresh white bread. White bread is $1 in the US. Okay, it's less expensive in Russia. I don't know the reason. Okay, rice. Rice, 85 cents. 1 kilo of rice. I mean, I don't know where the rice is produced the most. The rice production. Which country? I mean, the rice per country. China. Yeah, I wanted to say China, but I thought like maybe it's not correct. Maybe it's a stereotype. Maybe I will be wrong. Maybe I will offend someone. So China is closer to Russia. So if China is closer to Russia, and they buy most of the rice from China, so it should be less expensive in Russia. But the rice in Russia is 115 ruble. That means $1.70. And the rice in New York, like one of the most expensive country or place in the world, I mean, it's 80 cents. It's crazy. Crazy. So most, okay, eggs. Let's check eggs. 115 rubles. Also $1. Eggs, 90 cents. So in Russia more expensive. Local cheese. Okay, cheese maybe. Whoa, local cheese. 800. $11 local cheese. And here local cheese $1. So we can just check like this and see like who is doing better. Crazy. Okay, any other interesting news here? Let's check. Why, like here they write that Trump will support less Zelensky, but Trump is not the president. Strange. Okay, let's check other websites. Vesti, it's also should be a Russian website. So let's check the news here. Okay, like they free this town or this city. Interesting. So Ukraine, they were happy about Polish tanks so early. like that. Biden can be arrested for 10 years, and it's a news in all the TV channels. Interesting. 10 years. Oh my god. What else here? Military expert talking about, again, they always talk about experts, like expert in everything, expert in cities, expert in towns, expert in military, expert in health, about the current tax of the army. I don't think that Ukrainians will have greatest success with tanks. In any case, those that they will be supplied will not make the difference, he suggested. If it will not make the difference, why still now they didn't finish what they started? Like almost a year. And it will last, I think this thing will last for years to come. Crazy. Oh, anyway. We may move to Uzbekistan, and they are talking here something about Uzbekistan. I was thinking, oh my god, I hope they will not start there anything there. But my wife say that they will not start in other places anything like in Ukraine. She's watching a lot of political news and political videos, and she said, like, because when I was in when we were in Georgia, I asked her, maybe Georgia is also close to Russia and they can do like something similar. So she said no, because even in Ukraine they are spending like so much time and they didn't make any change till now. And I don't think they will stop. They still call it military operation. Like operation of what? Of sanctioning citizens and making them poorer and making them suffer from both sides and ruining the economy. This is the operation. Military operation. Yeah, it's hard to... Oh, I see. Turkish foreign minister allowed a meeting with a colleague from Russia and Syria in February. While in Turkey they are refusing to give residence to refugees. Like from both sides, Russians and even Ukrainians, that if they rented an apartment, so they can't, have the residence, but only if they bought an apartment and the price of the apartment should be, or a house should be more than $75,000. Only in that case they will give the residence. But if people are only renting here, they may not give them. The same about what happened to me, because we rented an apartment for 1 year, we paid for 6 months, and in the end they may refuse to give us residence. The same about Alyosha. Alyosha today created a video about how they refused them, they rejected them. This Alyosha. So he said that they were kicked out from Turkey because they applied for the residence, they paid for the apartment like $2,000, and they refused them. So they have like 10 days to leave the country. So this is how refugees who left, who are against what's going on in Russia, against the war, against everything. So these guys should kind of buy houses for $70,000. I know if I can tag him like this, I want to tag him in the chat, so at least you check his content, because I talked with him recently. We are in touch, and they are also in Turkey, also family with the kid, a girl. So they will have to move again. They will have to move again from Turkey to another country, and who knows? And they themselves, they don't know where to move. And politicians are meeting with each other, having fun, playing golf. The same about people in Syria. In Syria, they also have war. In Syria, also they have war. And a lot of people from Syria also, they are like running from Syria to cut these guys. They're enjoying here the speech, talking to each other. In Syria, no, I check some news in Syria. They had explosions, they had also like Syria cross-border at by 6 months. I don't know what is this. Extend Syria cross-border. US army send more reinforcement in Syria. Keep US troops in Syria, etc. As you see in Syria, also there is kind of war or something like that. I don't know. Also, crazy things is going on, and people from Syria also running here to Turkey, and maybe not having as well any support. I mean, they also have to buy houses for 70,000. Wow, why Turkey is preparing to invade Syria? Crazy. Like everyone was in Syria. Everyone, like US doing something in Syria, Russia was doing something in Syria. They were also like kind of I don't know, 2 years ago, like kind of saving someone there. I don't know. And now Turkey will do something as well in Syria. Of course, Syrian people are running from there, but they have to have $70,000 to buy a house to get the residence. Otherwise, they will leave like us for 2 months and they will have to leave. Or Alosha or other like thousands of Russians, Ukrainians who are here. They announced the build-up of Russia's force to system. Yeah, initiative. Crazy. Hello, Finola or Finola. Thank you for joining the stream. Any questions you have? Or any comments about what's going on in the world? Or what's going on in particular in Russia and their news? Estonia at all, I think they even didn't want to give visas to Russian people, even if Russian people like running from Russia and being against the war. So in Estonia refused to let all Russian citizens with a valid short stay Schengen visa issued for the purpose of tourism, support and cultural event, visiting relative and friends are prohibited from entering Estonia. So just because they are Russians, it doesn't matter if you are pro or against, or you are, a savior of all the world, the savior of, I don't know. For example, let's suppose that some Russian did a lot of good things, in a place with people who needed a lot of help, for example. Or some Russian went to another country just to work or just to feed his family or just to do something good to the world. And they will be like prohibited at all to enter a country. Let's suppose that some Russian is against the government and against all the things that's going on and is risking his life to say the truth to other Russians and to make them think well and to open their eyes, etc., and to change what's going on in Russia from inside Russia. But after like some time he get pursued, or he get in danger, and went to Estonia to tell them that I was like in such situation. So this guy will be also prohibited. The person who is caring about his family would be prohibited. Every single one. Like crazy. Hello, Nadav Ben Shlomo. Okay. We call the message about the ban of the man to leave the country sabotage. Okay. So they kind of what they call sabotage. I didn't get this. Called the message about the ban on men to leave the country sabotage. Peskov called the message about the ban on the exit of men from Russia sabotage. The main intentions are general Ministry of Defense. Very important to show such a ban. Peskov called it ordinary information. Blah blah blah. Yeah, of course. If they ban people from getting out from Russia, so they will tell that we didn't ban. And anyone will say that that they banned, so will be kind of punished or something like that. Sabotage, information sabotage. Let's put this away. Peskov said. Usually, when Peskov say something, it's the total opposite. Yeah. Yeah, I heard like about the ban like recently from sanctioned Ivan. He said that they banned like I don't know 10 or 12 million people from getting outside of Russia, but that's possible because when they started the mobilization, a lot of people were already like afraid to be mobilized. So, and even in the borders, when we were in the borders, they were afraid to be returned. And already like a few months passed, and now like almost the second mobilization. Let's check what this guy, because always when Peskov says something about the mobilization, the total opposite will happen. Ok, Peskov o mobilizației. Three days ago, Peskov, he said that there is no wave of partial mobilization. Like there will be no other wave of partial mobilization, and maybe even like people who are used to his saying, so like 256,000 people saw this news, so they when they hear that Peskov said that denied that there will be no wave of partial mobilization, so they made a conclusion that there will be mobilization for sure, and they more likely they are right. Okay. Yeah. So interesting. So if Peskov, if you want to learn about what's going on in Russia, so crazy stuff, yes. If you want to learn what's going on in Russia, just take a look at Peskov, what he said, and that's it. I'm watching what's going on Russia and Ukraine since 20 February. I'm wondering when this horrific war will end. So many Ukrainian soldiers and civilians killed, also Russian soldiers. Yeah, it's crazy, and they are killed for nothing. I mean, for nothing. And these guys are all just I don't know, having fun, meeting, I don't know, going to meet other people from other countries. They are not even, I mean, in Russia staying. They are enjoying their lives and traveling and seeing the world, and I don't know. And when they need, like when they are asked about saying something or writing something or recording a video, they will do it just to continue this mess. Because, I mean, if they wanted to stop everything, they will like just meet and stop everything. They will deal, they will solve their problems. After all, we are in 2022, like almost 2023, I mean. And they are, I mean, living okay. They have nothing to divide between them. They can just meet and solve their problems. If have, I don't know, one part want some money, they will give them some money. The another part wants some land, I don't know, they will give them some land. I don't know. They can deal somehow with each other if they wanted really to. But they don't seem so wanting that. It's a game. They are playing this game and are enjoying it. Look at these guys. Like meeting. One guy from, I don't know, from Turkey, another from Russia, and they are talking about something while people here in Russia running. I don't know. Okay. Ukrainian. Residence permit. Residence permit for Ukrainian. Turkey. Okay. It's interesting to see because I usually look about what's going on in about Russians. Only with a passport, despite facility, they do not have the right to reside. For BM2. Crazy. And I heard here that okay, Ukrainian can also legally stay. Okay, let's check if they give them something. For Ukraine to stay in the country. Tourist or humanitarian residence permits or under international protection. Oh. Okay, with the tourist permit, humanitarian residence permit, and the sense of international proportion. Ukrainian can also legally stay in Turkey up 90 days without adding document or visa. Tourist stay in yeah. So the visa tourists, like the visa tourists, maybe they are not accepted, but they have to apply for refugees. So that way they will have like or they can invest. Look, asking from them an investment $400. Okay. Buying real estate. Yeah, I know about buying real estate they will give. But there is nothing about renting. Study at Turkish university. Buying real estate. Marriage with the Turkish citizen. Okay. Okay, then when their families are here, there is nothing about renting. Yeah, that's so they can live 19 days here. Otherwise, they have to apply for refugees. I don't know. Hello, everyone who is joining. Thank you for joining. We are looking here for the news about Russian news, about what's going on. What do you think about the situation? And what are the recent news that you heard about Russia or Ukraine? Okay, Lenta is also, I mean, I checked RIA, I checked Vesti, I checked LBC, I didn't check Lenta yet. Maybe we'll find new news to discuss here. Oh, like they announced that the relationship between Russia and China are strong. Okay, the like US start to bring tanks to Europe. Okay, the hackers, Russian hackers are blamed to hack something in Britain. Twitter found some information about Russian bots that participated in the investigation of Trump. I don't know what investigation they are talking about. And nothing about about negotiations or something. Only war. Okay, of course, everybody wearing such form of military guys, and usually these guys who talk and they send people, they don't participate. Okay, it's kind of very professional military guy. I forget recently, like they showed that the president of Cosmos, Roscosmos, president of Roscosmos, he was like hit also in Ukraine. Cosmos, I forget his name. President of Roscosmos, Rogozin. So Rogozin also like was attacked in Ukraine or something like that. Yeah, check. He's kind of when I saw this news, I thought they take like famous people because this Rogozin is very famous, and they tell or they act like these famous people are in Ukraine to make other people, like most people, think that they have to go as well. Like it's a good thing. Like it's like a motivation, like to push more people to go. And in fact, I don't think this Rogozin is even fighting in Ukraine. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think he's just having fun somewhere. Let's check. I mean, the Rogozin wealth, maybe. Someone with such wealth will go to war. 4 million ruble in a year. This is the annual income. So let's check. Ruble to USD, 4 million. So he has 4 million income. Why? Sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he earns $59,000 per year. Let's divide them by 12. It's about how much? Like about 2,000? No, 4,000 maybe. 4,000 today. About 4,000 or 5,000 a month. But that's what's declared. I don't think such guy. Here they say like total salary in 18 was 29. Yeah, this is maybe something like official 4 million, and here 29 million. So 29 million, that means $500,000 in a year. That's possible. So someone with $500,000 will never go to war. Why they need that? It's crazy. I read that China has tendency relationship with Russia right now. China likes being discounted has from Russia, but doesn't want to directly add them too much. Yeah, I mean, in Russia, usually they say that they sell them the wood in China. I mean, they also they kind of give them the water of Baikal and a lot of things. And they have a lot of deal with China, and China is taking even some places in Russia, and they are like places like full of Chinese, and they are all like you can say taken by Chinese people, and they the new general looks psycho. Yes, maybe he's like from a prison. Who knows? Because they took a lot of people from prison to mobilization. So China is kind of owning, you can say, some. They have like good deals with Russia. Some Russians they even afraid like China in Vladivostok. So there's like places in Vladivostok where they have like big business there, and a lot of land they are taking, and some Russians even like afraid that Chinese people will invade all Russia. Like not invade it, but because they say that like Chinese people never fight with weapon. They fight with economy. They fight with their like they send a lot of their people to one place. They start working there. They buy a lot of businesses. They just I mean that's what they do. Chinese people. And they invade a place like this economically. And if you invade a place economically, that means you can do after that anything. I mean, the kind of invading without weapons. And one Russian guy, he said like he had like a prediction of I think the video is not that good. It's not moving that well. He said like he has a prediction that that Chinese people will attack in the future Russia, and they will I mean kind of take wives from husbands and etc. He has such prediction. So China is not that easy as it looks like. Yeah. So that is it about this video. I just wanted to share some already 1 hour and a half to share some oh, here I could remove this chat. Okay. Oh, it was all the time here, so sorry about that. So that is it about this stream. I will try to make such streams from time to time, and I think it's nice to hear from me about what I think about political stuff, about the news, etc. So thank you for watching. See you in my next streams, in my next videos, and goodbye.